Hi, welcome! Today I'm going to be trying on all of the lip products in my collection, and I don't have a ton compared to, a lot of people, but probably more than I need. This is, my favorite category of makeup, and so sometimes it's hard to resist the urge to pick up another color of lip gloss or whatever. And I forgot to include this in the declutter video that I did, so I thought, let's go through it. I'll refamiliarize myself with what I have here and figure out if there's anything that I can get rid of at this point. If you're new here, then welcome. I'm Audrey. I do videos about makeup and skincare and the products I'm trying, how they fit into the needs that I have as somebody with dry skin and rosacea, and just try to have fun with all of it. I think makeup is an expression of identity and something that can also provide comfort and fun and creativity, especially in these difficult times. If all those things interest you, then I hope you'll subscribe. Just a couple of other quick notes. I'm going to have a pinned comment with some resources to help people in Minneapolis. I'm sure if you've even glanced at the news, you know that it is a really difficult situation. One of those is a Girl Scout cookie link, so if you like cookies, then you should definitely check that out. And I think I'm going to try to just make this a regular thing like Haute Miss Tom does, because there's always ways that we can help other people in our communities. I'm also going to give a quick plug for my previous videos since YouTube kind of buried it and you probably haven't seen it. I'll put a link in a card so that you can have a look if you're interested. In it, I talk about winter skincare and how I'm dealing with my eczema. If you have eczema, you're more likely to also have sinusitis and asthma, unfortunately, true for me. And as more people are stepping up for their neighbors and getting involved, going to protests, the likelihood of being exposed to tear gas and pepper spray, which are both really, really not good for anyone's health, increases. And so I want to make sure that people have the information needed to be prepared and be able to take care of yourself in those situations. Here in Portland, there was a large, peaceful protest with teachers and nurses and lots of families and kids, and thousands of people were tear gassed just for being within blocks of our ICE detention center. It's a big deal and something that I just can't look past as I'm making even fun videos. So I want to be able to make space to talk about that and support people and again, give you the safety information that I have so that you can take care of yourself and the people around you. And with that said, let's dive into the lip products. I think I'm going to start off with the lip balms. Yeah, I think we'll go from kind of glossier to more lipsticky. So the first thing that I have four things here that I would put into that sort of like hydrating lip balm category, including the classic Chapstick. I was sick for half of January and, you get dehydrated, dried out, your nose and lips and everything. And I didn't want to run through like all of the lip balms that I really like while I was sick. So I decided, it's incredibly cheap, right, to pick up an actual chapstick so that I could just keep putting it on and not feel like I'm wasting something that might be more special. So people are always comparing lip balms to chapstick without necessarily putting them side by side. So I also thought it'd be kind of fun to just be able to look. So I'm going to put that on. And, it's, I have, classic strawberry, which is strawberry menthol. Not super tingly, and it does what it's there for. Slippery, not sticky, pretty comfortable, and I used to go through these constantly as a kid. Some combination of like this and the Body Bell Lip Smackers, and then in high school I got into Carmex, which I haven't tried in quite a while, but I've been thinking about picking up like one of the tins like I used to have. So maybe you'll see that in a future video. So there we go. I have to make sure I don't talk incessantly about this. I've got a lot to get through. Next, I have the Burt's Bees lip balm in Red Dahlia. I don't necessarily tend to gravitate toward these sorts of like tinted lip balms. I mean the tinted lip balm sticks, just because the colors often are like berry tones tend to, for me, just highlight the rosacea, and the pink ones are, I don't know, not that exciting often. Peach doesn't look very good on me. Anyhow, this is a nice neutral red. And it's one that I'll just put on in the morning when I haven't really decided yet what direction I want to go. I'd say texture-wise, it's pretty similar to the chapstick. Next, I have the Cocokind. Here's the thing. I just went to the eye doctor, and the last couple of years, you know, once you're in your 40s, they start checking you for your near vision reading abilities. And the last couple of years, I've been like, but I don't need reading glasses yet. I don't need reading glasses yet. As it turns out, I need reading glasses now. And so every time I've been squinting at the product labels, unable to read them, that is probably something that I should have realized. So what I'm doing is on my phone, I've got the magnification app that they include with iOS, and I will just be reading things with that. I'll probably also get actual reading glasses, but I didn't get to that before sitting down to film this. Okay, so this is the Cocokind Ceramide Lip Blur Balm. I just have the clear color, and I really like the texture of this one. I've been putting on it at bedtime. It's got a thick, cushiony sort of texture to it. Still not sticky, kind of the right amount of, the right amount of heft for what I want, especially at the end of the day. And then the last item in this category is e.l.f.'s Squeeze Me Lip Balm. This is the vanilla, which is definitely like a vanilla frosting kind of flavor. I haven't tried the, was it Summer Fridays? Has like a birthday cake one that I think this might be similar to, but I haven't tried it to compare, so can't tell you for sure. It's definitely like a really particular kind of vanilla, and I like the way that Cocokind does it a lot better than this. But I already used up the strawberry, which was my favorite flavor. And also, I don't think I'm going to be buying anything from e.l.f. anytime soon. So when I use this up, that'll be it. And I'm not going to repurchase the strawberry, even though I like that flavor. So again, just this kind of pointed plastic applicator. It has a little bit less heft or body than the Cocokind one. But still, this is a nice hydrating kind of lip balm. Next, I have two what I think of as like clicky lip pens. One of them is the NYX Slick Click in their clear color, which is main character, and it actually has some glitter too, so it's not just a straight up clear gloss. This is kind of the stage where I need a mirror to see what I'm doing. Clear gloss, it's fine to go by feel. It's kind of a nice iridescent pink and purple kind of thing. I like it. I don't tend to wear it a lot, but not for any particular reason. I'll probably keep it and try to use it up before it goes bad. And it sort of smells like pineapple, maybe? It's interesting, not bad. So there's that. It might be tricky to get all of the glitter off. The next one is the About Face Lip Color Butter in, checking again, Cherry Pick. This is a very, very cherry pink kind of thing. I like the texture and the feel of it, but it's pretty gloopy, and it like immediately got on my teeth, which isn't ideal. And you can see that like, it, you know, despite sort of trying to tidy up, it's like not staying within my lip line very well, and the color just moves around. And so to make it work, I kind of have to take most of it off again. I don't think I'm going to throw it out immediately, but it's definitely isn't one that I reach for. The color's kind of cute though. It's possible that I'm just going to have a little bit of a red stain around my mouth for the rest of this, which not much I can do about it now, except maybe touch up a little bit. All right, I tried to touch up with a little bit of Sneaky Balm. Hopefully that helps. Next, I'm going to do the liquid lip glosses that are more of like clear translucent color. And I guess I'll go from less tint to more. First we have the NYX Fat Oil. I can't find the shade on here, but it's the clear one. And it also has a fruity flavor, similar to their Clicky lip pen, kind of fruity tropical. This has a nice texture, and I think the main reason that I don't use it more is just that I don't tend to go for like just a clear gloss on its own. But it's worth keeping, and it's another one that I'll try to use up. Next, I've got two from e.l.f. One is the Glow Reviver Lip Oil here, and then I also have the Jelly Pop Glow Reviver Lip Oil, which I think is one of those like seasonal things that they do. And the color on this one is Coral Fixation. I think the smell is mostly mint, but it's smelling a little bit weird. which could just mean that it's old and I need to toss this. And you can see, even though it's pink in the tube, it doesn't give a lot of color. Most of what's coming through is just that my lips are a little bit red from being rubbed to get things off again, you know. And in general, when I've used it, it hasn't done a lot visually. The texture is fine, but I think I prefer the one from NYX. And this one is fruity, I think. Also smells a little bit off. And a little bit more of the color and the shine come through on this. But given that the texture is just okay, and they do seem like they're starting to go off, I don't have any reason to keep the two Glow Reviver lip oils. So those I'm just gonna toss. All right, one more lip oil type gloss. This is the one from InBeauty, and I have it in Fruit Punch, which is both the color and the flavor. I've been really happy with this one, and maybe you can see, like, I've used not quite half of it, but like maybe 40% of it now. It's getting old enough that I might not be able to get through it before it goes bad, just which would be unfortunate because I really like this one. It's just a good texture, little bit of tint that actually does show up on my lips. I'm kind of a sucker for this, this kind of like artificial fruit punch candy flavor thing. And overall it's comfortable to wear and I think it looks good. Next, I have 4 of the butter glosses from NYX. And this is a product that, obviously I like. It's really the only thing where I have like more than one from the same product line. And this first shade is Creme Brulée. All of the butter glosses have just kind of light, sweet smell. So that one's a nice pale pink. And then I have Madeline. And this is a soft creamy brown that tends to go with pretty much anything. If I'm feeling indecisive, this is often what I'll grab. Next, I have this bright fuchsia, and the color is Summer Fruit. I haven't worn this nearly as much as I think I should. So I'll try to get some use out of this spring and summer. And then finally, I have Black Licorice. And what I like about this, oh, my lips are still, hold on. I was trying to avoid staining, but that color doesn't seem to want to go. I think after this color, I'll try some clear gloss again to see if I can get it off. Yeah, what I was trying to say is that I like that with this, you can either go for like that kind of lacquer black and get like the full effect. I'm not doing the tidiest job here. Hopefully enough that you can see the effect. Looks a little strange with just not with just a layer of sneaky balm on my face. I'm not wearing a lot of makeup. But what I like with this is that you can take it and kind of shear it out and clean up the edges and get something that's still vampy but a little bit more soft and moody. If I like blot with a tissue, I can take it down even more. But I think at this stage, given that I have lip gloss on my fingers and things are starting to get a little bit messy, I am going to pause. Not that you'll know the difference, but pause, clean up a little bit, and then move along to the lipsticks. I forgot there's actually one more sort of lip balm or lip gloss type product. I have this matte Smushy lip balm from NYX. And mine is in the shade Swipe Sesh. I think that, there's been a wave of these kinds of things coming out, and I think that they're all dupes of like K-beauty products. And I'm glad that I just went and tried one that was easily available because, well, I'll put it on then I'll tell you. And I'm still a little stained. The color's fun. It's a little bit of what I think of as a Barbie pink. Not like a baby pink, but, a little bit brighter. Or like a rose maybe. And the way it looks is great. But I haven't been using it because it has more of that kind of like slippy texture that I'm just not as much of a fan of. Although I'm noticing that, and I wonder, I don't know, I wonder if like maybe the first time that I tried it, there was the texture of what came out was a little bit different. Because it's feeling a little bit like, a little bit more of a like actual lip balm, with a little bit more body to it. And so I don't mind this as much as I did when I first put it on. But yeah, what I was going to say is things that have like a thin, slippy texture don't really appeal to me. And this is kind of verging on that. I had thought actually that this might turn out to be a declutter, but now that I'm trying it again, I think actually I am going to wear this more. So, hey, another, it's good to try things on, revisit them, and figure that out instead of just, the getting stuck in that like accumulate declutter loop because you're not using your things, or just like I talked about kind of, at the start of the year, have products that you have to get rid of because they're just too old. But hey, that's a pleasant discovery. And yeah, I think the color works for me. Okay, now we can do the lipsticks, and there's only 8 of them. Again, I'll start from the more sheer kinds of formulas and get into the ones that are more opaque color. Beginning with the Maybelline Lifter Glaze, which I picked up relatively recently and I've already talked about in videos. I think of the sort of, I kind of want to call them like functional versus aesthetic lip balms, Like Chapstick is a functional lip balm and this is an aesthetic lip balm. Nice vanilla flavor, not too overpowering, like the e.l.f. lip balm that I tried what feels like at least an hour ago my time, probably not nearly as long for you. This is comfortable enough that I kind of don't want to have to take it off, but there are 7 more lipsticks to go. And I suppose, I'm categorizing these with with the lipsticks because of the format of the container. I think if it came, like in this kind of a shape, then I probably wouldn't put it with the lipsticks. And to me, that seems like kind of a smart thing for them in terms of marketing or making it seem, I don't know, like it could be more expensive, even though I think these are about $10. And some of the shades are brighter, so it does make them more lipsticky. And I'll follow it with this Sephora Sheer Shine lipstick in shade 11, which is Coral Crush or something like that. I know I have it in my notes, so I'll make sure to put that in the description along with all of the specific like products and shade names too, so you can go back and find one if you want. And as described, it is a sheer, shiny coral pink. Very summery. I didn't wear this nearly as much as I wish last summer, so it's another one that I want to make sure to remember to keep in rotation. It has a good texture. It doesn't move around like the one from About Face. And obviously with this kind of a sheer formula, you're going to keep reapplying it. But to me, that's not a big deal. And in general, I prefer that to like liquid matte lipsticks that stay for hours and hours and hours. My washcloth that I'm using to wipe in between is getting quite colorful. After that, I have a Maud Beauty lip balm, which is definitely more of a lipsticky formula in M139. And it comes with a cap to keep it from drying off. It is a much more hydrating kind of formula. Also quite thick. And bordering on the kind of goopy that I don't like as much and find a little bit difficult to work with. But it has a nice texture. It's a good shade. Just a nice, lighter, neutral brown. I think color-wise it's not something that I gravitate toward as much. And I know that I haven't really been making use of this one, so I think it's kind of that combination of things where it just, it's a little goopier, it tends to slide around. If I blot it down, then it's fine, but there are plenty of formulas that kind of start there instead of having to be, wiped down to get what I want. And like this, rubbed in where there isn't, it's just a sheer layer, it just doesn't leave enough color really to be worthwhile. So I guess that makes it another one that I ought to declutter. I also have a lipstick from Maud Beauty. This is shade M58, and it's another kind of rosy pink. There seems to be a lot of that in my current collection. Maybe something to keep in mind if I'm thinking about, buying another lipstick that I don't necessarily need another rosy pink. This isn't exactly the same as something I've tried already, although it does feel awfully similar to the Smushy matte lip balm from Nyx. color-wise, not texture. And I really do like their lipstick formula. This is one where if they had other shades that I wanted, I would definitely go ahead and get them. Budget permitting, of course. The next lipstick I have is the Merit Signature Lip in 1990. And I mean, I really love the packaging on these. It just reminds me of some of the stuff my great-grandmother had in the 80s. And it's a good satin lipstick formula. It's not the most durable, but it's also not as like transient as some of the more balmy formulas. And this is one where I like to do the old school thing of like apply, blot, and then apply another layer. Just helps build up the color a little bit and keep it in place longer. And on days when I want just a, nice, solid, neutral lipstick, this is what I'll tend to grab. And then I'll follow that with a drugstore option that when I put the packages side by side, I was like, there's a little bit of similar design thinking here, aside from the Lucite, which again is delightfully retro. But also this L'Oreal lipstick packaging probably hasn't changed in years and years. So this is the L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick in shade 601, Worth It. I'm obviously getting tireder because, I have to remember to take the previous lipstick off before I put the next one on, or it kind of misses the point of this whole thing. What I started to say was I picked this up recently, and so I'm not sure if I've even put it on. I think I swatched it, but that might be about it. And my lips are so pink at this point from all the things, but that's fine. It's got kind of a floral fragrance to it, which I don't love. The formula definitely feels like it's going to stay a little bit better than the Merit. Again, I think the texture of both is great, but if you were looking for something that maybe would stay a little bit longer on its own, I think that I would lean toward the L'Oreal formula. The pink is a little bit more neutral on me than I was expecting, but I like that. And I can't really smell the fragrance once it's on. So that's one that should definitely be in my regular rotation. When I bought it, I thought that the shade might be similar to this Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. I've now both had to change the battery and run out of space on my memory card, mostly because I forgot to delete some of the previous videos, but I should definitely try to speed through this last section. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick that I have the little mini of. I think they're not the same color, which is good, even though they looked a little bit more to me in the tube. This has more of that like orangey, peachy neutral edge to it, which wouldn't necessarily be my first pick, but I don't think it looks bad. And given that it's a mini and it's in good shape, I don't have any reason, even if this isn't my first pick, to toss it or anything. I suppose if I was talking to a friend who wanted to try it, I would give it to them. But yeah, so that's a useful comparison, at least for me. And then I have another drugstore lipstick. This one is from Revlon. It's their Super Lustrous Revlon lipstick, and the shade is Skyline Pink. It's a pearl formula. And I never really, to me, frosted lipsticks are very 80s. I think that they have a comeback every 10 years or so. I never really got into it in the past, but I picked this up at the same time as the L'Oreal one, mostly because I just wanted to try some different drugstore lipstick formulas. And I'm looking forward to playing around with it. I think the color works for me. I still have sort of a like pink halo around my lips, but I don't feel like doing another round of like makeup touch-ups, so I'll just deal. The thing that, I don't know if anybody else does this, but the thing that I always did like in high school if I was putting on, like makeup for theater or some sort of performance, is that, these days everybody overlines their lips a lot. I never really cared for that, so I would go like, and then take my like pressed compact foundation and just run that over the edge of my lips like this, so that I could get rid of the border. Yeah, I think the much more stylish thing these days would be to just deliberately like overline and blend it that way, but never really appealed to me, I don't know. So the only thing left after this is that I have 4 lip liners. I don't necessarily want to put them on consecutively and have to like scrub them off again. So I think what I'm going to do is just like pick different parts of my lip for each of them. And it'll be kind of weird looking, but give me a chance to compare the formulas. I'll start with these two Line Loud lip pencils from NYX. I have the shades Born to Hustle and Sassy. I'll start with Sassy first, and I guess maybe take like this side. I don't tend to use liners a ton. For me, they're more about, let's see, here I am overlining a little bit, and yeah, I don't think I like how it looks on me to do that, but they're just always more about like longevity, you know, and getting like a little bit of a sharper look. And like I said earlier, I'm happy to just keep reapplying lipstick during the day, you know, and maybe blot and reapply to give it a little bit more longevity. And so I don't tend to make use of lip liners very much. Okay, that looks messy and weird, but you can see the color. And then we'll do the other one on this side. I guess I have to try to be like vaguely symmetrical, yeah. Very different color. I mean, so that one was kind of a neutral brown, and this is pink. I'll color it in a little bit more, just show off more of the color. This is one I could see wearing on my own with a little bit of gloss, but I mean, looking at the color, it doesn't exactly match anything else I have, but like it's close enough that isn't, you know, there isn't really a reason for me to just grab this as opposed to something that, you know, provides more moisture and comfort and whatever. Especially because I think both of these stay pretty well, but they're not like as completely budge proof as some lip liner formulas can be. And then I have this red Cream Glide lip liner from e.l.f. You know, I'll just swatch a little bit on my hands so you can see the color. But this one I know is like definitely like messier, will migrate, and honestly I think I'll probably just get rid of it because I have yet to use it aside from the one video where I think I first tried it on. So I may toss all three of these lip liners actually, just because they're, I mean, lip liners last quite a while, but they're older. I don't use them. I don't have, you know, like, I can't think of the last time that I actually needed to have like a really crisp polished lip look and have it stay for hours and hours and hours. You know, that's like not really a situation that I need to cover very much. So yeah, I think these might just go. And again, if I could pass them on to somebody, I know I would, but of my friends who wear makeup sometimes, I don't think anybody would be able to make use of these anyhow. So that's all right. It's a good lesson. This looks very silly. Like two-tone lips. But the only lip liner that I do actually make use of is this one from Mob Beauty. It's their Smooth Precision lip liner in M1990. And if I do need something that's going to really help keep my lipstick in the lines and give me that, you know, like more polished look, this is what I would go for because it's waterproof. It will actually stay. It's also why I'm applying it last, because I know this. I think I need to give it a sharpen. It's been a little bit since I used it, but and then combine that with one of the more neutral colors I have, you know, it works pretty well. So this lets me do something that I hadn't yet, which is compare the NYX brown that I have with this shade of brown. Let me put a little bit more on so that I can just see side by side. Yeah, and I think I prefer this brown better anyhow. So good. I can just have my one lip liner for when I need it, and that's everything that I have for lip products that I keep in the box. You know, one of the really useful things that I picked up as like an ADHD decluttering kind of thing is to just let the amount of storage space you have be smaller so that it, you know, constrains what you have. You aren't, you know, if there's nowhere to put it, then there's no need to get it. And, you know, one of my other rules is like no speculative purchases, which I break often, but even just keeping that in mind has helped a lot, you know, so no buying a lipstick because someday I might want to wear that kind of look, but buying it because I have a plan for it. I know how it fits in. I know I have room for it. you know, all of that kind of stuff. So I am going to try not to just go buy 3 more lipsticks to fill in the space for what I have available, but leave room for something that might catch my eye in 6 months too. And know that I have space to make decisions over time. I'm going to put everything back in and we'll see it all together. So that leaves me with, I don't stand up nearly as well when there's more room, but that's fine. 19 things that I'm going to keep, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get rid of, including 2 lip oils, 1 Clicky lip pen. Unfortunately, I know because it's so goopy and the color doesn't stay put, like it got on my teeth when I was applying it. I know that I'm not going to use it, so unfortunately it should just go. And then those 3 lip pencils. And I think I'm going to set aside this lip balm from Mob Beauty just to play around with it a little bit more and see if there's, you know, a way that I can get some use out of it while I have it. It has that same kind of goopiness problem, but I do like the color and like the texture almost works for me. So yeah, I'm going to play around with it a little bit more and see if I can get some use out of it before it also expires, as all things do. And that's going to be it for today. So thanks for hanging out with me and going on this little journey and adventure. I think that if you also have sort of a set of things sitting there and you know you're not like using all of your lip glosses or balms or whatever, like spending some time just trying stuff on really can help refresh your memory and maybe get you excited about things, and also make it kind of help with impulse buying, right? Because if I see like, oh, I impulse bought, you know, this and this and this, and I didn't actually end up using them or wanting them, for me that makes it easier to, next time I'm at, you know, looking at a display, say, okay, but do you really want that? Do you really need that? Yeah, and so the more that I like touch and engage with what I have, even if, you know, maybe I'm not wearing 19 lipsticks in a given week, it still kind of helps keep things fresh. So that's it for today. Thanks again for joining me. If you haven't subscribed yet and you hung out for this whole thing, then I really hope you will. I'll have more videos in the future about lipstick, I'm sure, given how much I do like it. And just remember to take care of yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye.